I made this record for you to jam, so use it.
From the theme parks to downtown brick streets, from winter garden to sandy bare feet, everywhere the light touches is our kingdom. We're spilling tea and dropping wisdom. Don't worry about missing the headlines. We're here to help. It's the Orlando Shine.
Welcome to the Orlando Shine Show with the bus and not Brendan this week. Brendan's on vacation. He's in Canada visiting his homeland. So I have a co-host, a guest co-host. You know him. He's on the show all the time. It's Ryan Lynch from the Orlando Business Journal.
Pleasure to be here, John.
What's your title now?
I'm a senior staff writer, which...
Senior. How long do you have to be there to be senior staff writer?
well, I've been there, July was 8 years, so I just joked that's their way of calling me old. So.
Okay, all right. So I appreciate that you're here, Ryan. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out while Brendan's out of town. Brendan's actually out of town 2 weeks in a row, so we'll have another guest host next week.
Yeah.
But we're here at 1010 Brewing here in, I think technically it's Mills 50.
Yeah, it kind of straddles Mills 50 in Idaho, or Ivanhoe Village. I know I used to live here and ride by the urban trail all the time, so it's always a great spot to grab a drink, after you're on the bike or...
And not only drink, they have super good food here, too. I think for a long, long time, their food was just okay, I'll say.
Yeah.
But I think they, amped it up in the last maybe year or two. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but every time I come back, their food is so good here. And their burger has won awards lately, so they have super good food. Not only that, they have really good beer, too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but before we get too far, I have another special guest.
Yeah, you do.
I have my wife, Leanne, with me. Hello, Leanne.
Hello, listeners.
And she's here because next Wednesday, her group is doing an event. And so tell us all about the Florida Cladies, Leanne.
Yeah. So next Wednesday, August 12th, from 6 to 9 p.m., is going to be Orlando's very first Florida Cladies pottery pop-up, which is from 6 to 9 p.m., Wednesday, August 12th, at 1010 Brewing, B-side, Florida Cladies. It's a group of ceramicists living here in Central Florida. There's going to be 10 of us. We all make functional work, sculptural work, mugs, plates, things to hold plants. Come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, I hope to see you there.
So what can I get at a pottery pop-up?
You can get pottery, you can get laughs, you can get a good time. There's going to be works available for sale. So 10 different ceramic artists from the Central Florida area are going to have booths, their own booths, and you can come and hang out with us, take a look at our work. No obligation to buy, but we definitely want you to buy if you're so inclined. But yeah, there's a really strong ceramics community here in Central Florida in Orlando, and I'm really excited to be part of a movement to bring a lot of attention to that. And so I hope that you can come join us.
All right, Ryan, you got questions?
Yeah, I mean, for people who want to know how to, make their own, pots and plates, will there be opportunities for them to learn while they're there?
I'm so glad you asked. So not at the actual pottery pop-up, but there are many of us that teach private classes. There's also several ceramic studios in town that offer classes. So if you have interest in that, come to the pottery pop-up. Florida Cladies will be at 1010 Brewing next week, and you can ask us about that, and we can give you info.
I'm excited. I know this is the first Florida Cladies pottery pop-up, but do you think there's going to be more?
There's going to be so many more. We already have our second one planned, and hopefully the third just before the holidays. So, yeah, it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So next Wednesday, August 12th, 1010 Brewing, 6 to 9, over at the B-side. Bunch of Florida ceramic artists. Come over there. Come buy some pottery.
And I'll add, I think, to say we hope this is going to be a monthly thing and a continuous thing. Yeah.
All right, we're excited. I'll be here too. If that means anything to anybody, I'll be here as well, hanging out, helping out. I won't have any pottery because although I did make a clay dinosaur the other day, Ryan.
I thought you were gonna say ashtray, but
No. Maybe in my older days I would have made an ashtray, but we were sitting around because Leanne was working and we were talking, and she gave me a bunch of clay, and I made a dinosaur. And so she says she's gonna fire it. We'll see. We'll see when it happens. I still got to paint it though too, or glaze it.
Very cute dinosaur.
She's just saying that because we're married. All right, Ryan. So how was your week, Ryan? We usually talk about how our weeks were. How was your week?
I mean, it was pretty good. I went to the Tuesday Takeover, the food truck event in the Milk District, so it was fun to be there and chill. I was sad to see that the Nook on Robinson announced they were closing.
I didn't know that till today.
Yeah.
Did they just announce that
yeah,
today?
they did on social media.
Okay.
So they're closing on Halloween this year. They said they're going to do a funeral for the bar. So it's going to be an opportunity. There's still going to be chances to see them for their various events. And, while it's sad to see them go, they had a great run there in the Milk District. And, hopefully there's still some joy left there to, dance around.
How
and
long
enjoy.
have they been open? 8 years? 7 years?
Yeah. So the funny thing is they opened up around the same time I moved to Orlando. So they predate me by a couple of months. So that's how I track my time in Orlando is every time the Nook has an anniversary, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a year for me too. So
I know the owners there. They're great people. We've done shows there before, and it's a great neighborhood bar. I don't know if they have liquor there. I think it's beer and wine, right?
Yeah, mainly Florida beers and wines, and they have a lot of different events. They do movie screenings, all those sort of things. But, sad to see them go, but it'll be great to celebrate the last couple of months with them.
I know. I sent it to Brendan. Once again, he's on vacation, so I'm trying not to send him too much stuff. So I'll be curious if there's any news behind that, because they did talk about it in a video today, but they didn't really say like why. Like
and
I just
I'm
don't
sure
know.
in the future they'll announce more as they get closer to that date. But obviously, you guys have talked about closures before. There's a lot of different places that have closed down for a variety of reasons. Everything from leases ending to hey, they felt like it's time to go. So. It's been a sort of topsy-turvy time in Orlando bars and restaurants.
It's a tough business. I mean, obviously we're here at 1010 Brewing tonight, and they have food, they have trivia, they have beers. They have distribution though too with their beers that they make here.
Sure.
So the Nook is a little bit different. I don't want to say but they just serve drinks, and so you're competing with everything in the world and trying to get people out of the house, and it's a cool bar, so I'm sad to see it go, but hopefully they have some other things up their sleeve that they have planned.
Oh, I'm sure they do. So it'll be great to kind of see them, finish off those last few months strong and kind of really bring the community together like they always tend to do.
I wish I could say I did something this week, but I don't know if I did. Like, my wife was out of town; she was up in Boston. And so, like, I was just, like, at the house, like, kind of not doing much, watching mostly baseball games and watching horror movies. So, like, that's usually what I do when she's gone.
I mean, that's not a bad weekend at all, though. In all honesty, you didn't couch rot too bad. So.
No, I played some hockey and did some other things, but, like, that was my main. Most of the day, I'd just watch baseball games and then watch horror movies at night. So, anyway, let's talk about some new stuff. We started off with the Nook thing, which isn't even on Orlando Shine.
Yeah.
If you like what you hear, go to OrlandoShine.com. Follow all that. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram, and give them a like and give them a subscribe, because the more the merrier. And Brendan O'Connor does a ton of work over there. And I think you wrote about this. We're gonna go down our list here.
Yeah.
Dr. Phillips Center proposes a $1.5 billion expansion. You wrote about this, right?
Yeah, so I was actually at the meeting where they did the presentation, and it's a massive expansion of the campus. They're looking at a northern venue, which would add multiple new theaters there, a banquet facility. They're looking to the east to add their own parking garage there with some flex space for other venues. And they're looking, I think if you remember during the pandemic, they had that front yard area where they did a lot of things. So they're looking to bring back some sort of venue like that where they can host a lot of free events and that sort of thing. and they're looking to do upgrades to the interior of the existing building.
Which is wild because it's not that old.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure things deteriorate over time, like AC and all that, and
Well,
seats and whatnot.
If you think about it, the venue opened in 2014, right? So it's relatively new in the world of arts and culture venues, but at the same time, you know, they're talking about like, hey, we're pretty much at capacity right now. We don't have enough space to draw a lot of the shows that we want to draw. So by going from 9 venues to 20, that would really allow them to add almost 1 million people, they say, per year, with some of those coming from outside the market, which is a big deal to the folks considering how to use those TDT funds.
So like you said, they want to add 11 new venues to their current 9, which 9 is a stretch. I don't know what they're counting as a venue because when you look at it, you're like, okay, I see 5. I don't know what the other maybe 4 are.
Yeah, so a lot of them, they're counting things like Judson Live,
Okay.
right?
All right, which is a venue. That's
they're
200 people there.
When you look at it, they're counting the outside as venue. They're counting smaller pay. But those matter in the grand scheme of things because for them, that kind of allows them to have multiple events going on at once during the day. So like if they have a big show going on in the Walt Disney Theater, another going on in Steinmetz, they're able to handle all that traffic at once and really be able to draw, they told me, international events, national events, and bring in folks to the area.
So I would argue, like, do they not already get some of that stuff? I mean, I've heard this before too, but like what are you not getting? I'm curious, like, what are they not getting that they want to get with these new theaters?
I think not necessarily what they're not getting, but maybe what they want more of, right? Like, because a lot of these things, you think of like things like the convention center expansion and other things, they want to get more of these events. They want to do more of them at the same time. And, by having the flexibility of the space, you basically open up those possibilities, right? With the outdoor space, they talked about the potential to do up to 1,000 free events per year.
Yeah.
And right, that matters both to the, community here, but also to draw people to downtown. You could be like, hey, you're in downtown, you're getting a bite to eat, and there's a free concert going on.
Which, I mean, we've talked about this, me and Brendan, often, where, like, you see people that say, hey, I'm going to see a show at the Dr. Phillips Center. Where should I go to eat before the show? And there's only a few places within, like, when I would say walking distance to that, which is kind of sad because it's the Dr. Phillips Center is always busy. They always have something going on. I don't know how they fill that venue all the time, but they do. And there's not as much. I think if you were to go back 20 years and say, oh, and where we're going to build this thing, there's going to be so much development around it. There's going to be so many bars and so many restaurants, and that really hasn't happened.
Yeah, and part of the challenge is they're still doing a lot of the infrastructure through that Project DTO master plan they had. They're trying to two-way the streets. They're trying to, change things on Church Street. Like you walk through Church Street, it's completely different from even a decade ago when there was. But
most people don't park there. They park behind the building
True.
and walk to the building.
Yeah. So the question is of how do you get more of those people to come downtown, right? And like hopefully through some of the changes they're trying to make, that could happen. But that's easier said than done, right?
And $1.5 billion is a lot of money to go to a venue that is already successful.
Yeah, and they said as much during the meeting. Like, look, they're looking at $750 million of tourist development tax, which is the money raised by people who stay in the area. And their hope is that even if they don't get the full amount they're asking for, they're still able to start some of the projects relatively quickly. They spoke about this as a way to get things started, right? So they said any of those projects that they mentioned are shovel ready and able to go at a moment's notice. And obviously, there's still questions of how much funding is actually available to give them. We'll find that out next week, but it's a matter of, okay, you're competing with all these different things for funding. Do you end up getting your piece of the pie, or do you end up having to wait for the next time or for philanthropic dollars to kind of fill in the need there?
Do you think it takes away from other arts organizations that could use just a fraction of that money?
I don't necessarily think that. I mean, I think a lot of it's competitive. I think the question is, like, if you go for a big project like that versus a couple of smaller projects that maybe spread it out a little bit more, what's the impact there? Because obviously, like, this is coming into one venue, but Orange County is a big place, right? There's a lot of different arts organizations that serve different populations, that serve, young people, the elderly, broad populations. So there is sort of a thing of like, hey, and that's the challenge of being on the task force, right? You're trying to figure out, okay, we have X amount of dollars. How can we get the most bang for our buck by spreading out this money that we have? So,
All right. We got a lot of topics to cover. I got to move on to another one.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of ours, Creative City Project. They're opening up their process, or Immerse. They're opening up their process to be a part of Immerse 2027 next Wednesday, same day as the Pottery Pop-Up. Earlier in the day, though. Earlier in the day. So I guess if you want to be a part of Immerse 2027, you can apply online, and they're going to have a link for that and be ready to take submissions for that. Have you been to Immerse lately?
Oh, yeah. I went to the one this past year, and it was...
oh, I'm sorry. It is the same time as the Pottery Pop-Up. I apologize. You can go to both.
Yeah. But it was a really enjoyable experience. Obviously, it's kind of a unique event downtown, and using the streets as a venue, and it's really cool to see a mix of local artists and national and international folks getting an opportunity to present a variety of different arts on the streets. So whether that's performing arts or sort of statue pieces, other things, that's all really cool to see.
So they're going to do a launch party at the Abbey on Wednesday, and then they're going to have a submission link online after the party, and artists, they don't have to be at the mixer to apply, but they're looking for projects that are unexpected, collaborative, and meaningful, and specifically responsive to downtown Orlando, because it's held in downtown Orlando. Yeah. And I don't have a date on when Immerse 2027 is, so I want to say it's earlier in the year this time. So look out for that.
Yeah, they'll have more information on their website. They usually put out a lot of the information in the run up to the event. So usually it's a fun thing, and it kind of brings people into downtown. So.
Ryan, what part of town you live in?
So I'm just north of Winter Park, just south of Castleberry. I'm kind of sandwiched in there. I used to live downtown, though.
Okay, all right. Clemens Produce. Did you ever go to Clemens Produce?
So I lived in the area near there for a little bit, but I never went there before. Did you go there?
I did. So I live in College Park. I've basically lived in College Park for, 13, 14 years now. So Clemens Produce is over off of Curry Ford, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, and so it's just not really my neighborhood. But they posted also they're closing down.
Yeah.
They've been in business 5 decades, 50 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you've seen a lot of these like family-owned businesses, It's not necessarily like a success or failure thing, but sometimes it's like a question of, hey, who's going to take over the business, when we're ready to retire or, getting ready to finish up with things. So, it's kind of one of those things where like people a couple of years from now will be like, man, do you remember that place? It's like, oh, yeah.
And I guess they weren't really, they're called Clemens Produce, and they were really known for their produce. And according to Brendan, they were really known for their vine-ripe tomatoes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But I saw some comments online that people said that it hadn't been as good lately. So I don't know if another family member took over, or maybe they sold it. I don't know, but they said it wasn't as good.
Do you feel like that's something people say when things
Possibly.
close?
It's possible.
I feel like I said that when Gringo's closed, right? Like it was like,
we didn't I don't think we talked about that last week because it hadn't closed yet, so we should talk about that. Yeah, no, you're right. So Gringo's Locos, they had, I think, 3 locations?
4.
I
think. 3 or 4. I mean, and it was like, in the dead of night, it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna close. This is it.
So wait, let's go to that next. But let me just finish. So if you want to go to Clemens Produce, August 31st, everything's on sale. Stuff's on clearance, and then they're gonna sell all the fixtures and stuff. But it's tough to. Groceries are hard anyway.
Oh yeah.
And you're competing with the Publixes and the Walmarts of the world.
Yeah.
So you either got to be really niche or really, really good, and it's just a hard business.
Well, and you think of like Kroger trying to expand here with the grocery delivery.
I think they fumbled all that.
Oh,
I think they should have just opened stores and competed.
I think they were trying to open Harris Teeter stores in Jacksonville, and it didn't work. It's just the sort of thing where you're competing with Publix and Whole
Publix
Foods.
is expensive. Like, it's
Sure.
expensive. When you look at Kroger and Winn-Dixie compared to Publix,
Sure.
but the reason I go to Publix, it's not because it's expensive. I don't want to pay higher prices. It's literally the closest grocery store to my house. If Kroger or Winn-Dixie was next to Publix, I'd probably go to Winn-Dixie.
Well, I know a lot of people go to like Aldi too.
I
They've been
do.
expanding
Like, when
a
I
lot.
buy a lot of groceries, like if it's a Saturday, I'm like, oh, we need to spend $150 on groceries today. I'm probably going to go to Aldi and get a bunch of stuff. But if it's like, oh, I need to go get pasta and pasta sauce, I'm just going to go to Publix because it's closer to my house. So if Kroger would have just opened a bunch of stores and had, 25% lower prices, I think they could have done okay.
Yeah.
But they wanted to do this delivery thing. But I don't ever get delivery groceries. Do you?
I don't, but I know people who do. It's just like, I feel like it was very much like it ramped up during the pandemic. And
Absolutely.
then some people fell out of the habit of doing it, right?
Yeah,
So-
because like sometimes I don't know what I'm eating tonight, and so like
Sure.
I just run to the store and get something. I can't, and I'm not going to get a delivery of that. I'm just
Yeah.
going to go to the store and get it real quick. So yeah, I think having it in the pandemic, I get it, but then thinking everybody's just going to do delivery, I think that was a terrible idea. Let's talk about Gringos when we get back.
Sure.
We're here at 1010 Brewing here in Mills 50 on Virginia. Be here next Wednesday for the Florida Cladies Pottery Pop-Up starting at 6 o'clock. And I'm here with Ryan Lynch from OBJ, and we will be right back.
What if you could sit down with the people you love most and capture their story forever? That's the heart of Legacy Life Project, cinematic video biographies that preserve your family's voice, memories, and wisdom for generations to come. From an intimate in-home interview to a full documentary woven with archival photos and home movies, Legacy Life Project creates a true heirloom film your family will treasure long after it's made. Packages start at just $3,900, and every project begins with a free, no-obligation discovery call to talk through your family story and goals. Don't wait for someday. Preserve their story in their own words today. Schedule your free discovery call now at LegacyLifeProject.com. That's LegacyLifeProject.com. Looking for a way to give back right here in Central Florida? The Orange County Library System wants you! OCLS is looking for volunteers at the Orlando Public Library and branch locations all across the county. Whether you've got a few hours a month or a few hours a week, there's a place for you to help. Adults, all you need is a Friends of the Library membership and an OCLS card in good standing to get started. Teens, this one's for you too. If you're looking between the age of 11 and 18, join the Teen Volunteer League and start racking up those community service hours while making a real difference. Whoever you'd like to help, the library's ready for you. Learn more and sign up today at ocls.org/volunteer. That's ocls.org/volunteer. Enzian is still leaning into Christopher Nolan's epic The Odyssey, starring Matt Damon, Tom Holland, and Anne Hathaway. It's still screening in true 70mm with tons of new showtimes now on sale. Celebrate 100 years of Harry Dean Stanton with 4K restoration of the punk rock classic Repo Man, Saturday, August 15th at 11 a.m. Free in Central Park on Park Avenue, you can catch the 45th anniversary screening of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Thursday, August 13th at 8 p.m., presented by Popcorn Flicks in the Park. And the big one, it's the 40th anniversary of John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China, Sunday, August 23rd at 6 p.m., featuring a meet and greet, autograph signing, and post-film Q&A with actor James Pax. And if you're a Florida filmmaker, submissions are now open for the Brouhaha Film and Video Showcase, presented by the Florida Film Festival and Enzian Theater. Winners get showcased in the 2027 New Florida Shorts program. Submit by September 30th. Grab tickets and see the full August calendar now at enzian.org. Enzian Theater, blah, 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 movies. Summer Nights just got a lot more interesting at the Orlando Science Center. Stellar Nights runs every Friday and Saturday through August 1st with OSC open until 10 p.m. Your ticket gets you 4 floors of exhibits, workshops, and the Makerspace Live Planetarium shows, and telescope viewing in the observatory, one of the largest public refractor telescopes in Florida. And then there are the laser light shows. This summer's lineup includes Taylor Swift, Pink Floyd, Queen, The Beatles, Grateful Dead, and more, with 8K projection illumination and 30 watts of sound inside the dome. Laser shows are first come, first served, so arrive early to grab your seat. Additional shows have been added throughout the season to accommodate even more people. Stellar Nights is included with general admission. Members get in free. Buy tickets in advance and skip the line at osc.org. Orlando Science Center, open late.
Welcome back to the Orlando Shine Show with the bus and not Brendan this week. Brendan's in Canada visiting family and at his cabin and doing his Canadian thing. I have Ryan Lynch from the Orlando Business Journal. How you doing, Ryan?
Pretty good to be here. We'll call it a bullpen game, right? You were talking
All
about
right,
baseball.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go with that. But we are here at 1010 Brewing tonight, hanging out in honor of next Wednesday's Florida Cladies Pottery Pop-Up, which is next Wednesday, August 12th, 69. Come and buy some pottery. It should be a good time. I'll be here. So before we left, we were talking about Clemens Produce. Wrap that up, but we started talking about Gringos Locos.
Yeah.
So Gringos Locos, Mexican restaurant here in Orlando, closed this weekend, or this week, I guess. They're totally closed, right?
Yeah. So they, it kind of was out of the blue it was like popping up on Reddit and other social media, like, hey, Gringos is closing this weekend. You know, I heard the Michigan location in the Milk District like ran out of food, and they had a sign on the door that was like, out of food, closed, and it was really sudden. It wasn't like something where it was like, oh yeah, we're putting out a announcement, we're closing and that sort of thing. But it was really, if you've been in Orlando for a while, you've always thought of them as a late night option.
Yeah,
right?
let's do a little Gringos history here. I know when I was probably just moved here in 2010. I don't know what year they opened, but I know they had opened downtown on Washington.
Yep.
Yeah. So across the street from the Regions Bank building, next to Beth's Burger Bar at the time.
Yep.
And it literally was like the place everybody went to go get food after the bars closed.
Oh yeah, they were closed late night. It was kind of a melting pot of the downtown scene.
Oh yeah. And it was the spot, and they were open till probably 4 a.m. maybe.
Yeah.
And like they stayed open, and people got their Double D tacos there, and then they expanded. They opened a spot in the Milk District. They opened one on Michigan. You said there might be another one. I can't remember.
The one at UCF.
Oh, okay.
Is the
All
other
right. I
one.
don't get
And
out
that was open to the students. So
Plus,
that was,
they're at the Kia Center too.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious what happens with that. I'm sure they'll just swap out
switch
with
out.
somebody else.
Maybe another local vendor.
But like that was the place to go. I don't know all the people that started it, but I know the one guy, Rob Baer, helped launch Gringos Locos, and something happened with the owners there.
Yeah, I know he split off.
He did. He started Tin Taco.
Yeah. So there were some change ups in ownership, and over the years that kind of shifted. And that creates a challenge, right? Like when you have the founder leave, that it's like, okay.
And open a Mexican restaurant,
exactly.
a taco restaurant, like across the street, basically.
Yeah, no, it makes
I think
me
there was some animosity there. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was.
It makes me think of when the founder of Tijuana Flats went and started his own thing after leaving Tijuana Flats.
Yeah.
So,
I think there's some ongoing lawsuits between everybody too, with Gringos and stuff. I think.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, all right. So there might be some more things going on. I don't know if it's just like, we weren't doing as well. There could be some other stuff there.
And the thing is, it's like an information vacuum, right? Like I don't think the social media has posted since like 2025.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
Yeah,
Wow.
at least some of the accounts. So. Like usually when these things happen, it's like, hey, thank you for all the laughs and love over the years, that sort of thing. And it was kind of just like radio silence. It was like, hey, we're closing, and then boom, gone.
It is tough for downtown. I mean, that's another business closing downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And whether or not that is related to all the things that have been enacted in downtown, that could be argued, I guess.
Yeah.
This could be a totally different factor.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, is it part of the trend or is it something else, right?
It's too bad. I mean, I haven't been to Gringos in a long time, but I had been there a few times after having some drinks downtown.
Oh, yeah.
All right. U.S. men's national team is going to play Peru in Orlando. Are you a big soccer fan or not?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I actually have season tickets to the Pride, the NWSL team, so that's always fun. But the really cool thing about this is their first post-World Cup game. So after that nice little run they had in the World Cup,
Well, a group of 8, is that when they got kicked out?
round of 16.
Round of 16, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So, which again, considering the group, we'll see what happened. Their manager just got an extension to 2030. But it'll be good for the locals to be able to see, a variety of folks who played, maybe even get some new players who hadn't been in that lineup. So should be fun.
So it's at Inter & Co Stadium
Well,
Saturday.
technically Inter.co
Oh,
Stadium.
Inter.co, what?
So yeah, they changed the signage on it recently.
Do you know what they do?
So they're like a banking and
Okay.
everything app.
You would have stumped
So,
me.
so
I
they're
don't
like a
even know what they
Brazilian
do.
company,
All right.
and so they have their own app. They do a variety of things, including banking.
I think
So-
somebody did tell me that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just don't know them because
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, and a lot of
them in
people
Orlando.
didn't realize, like, oh, hey, by the way, they changed it. I was driving by them when they were changing the signs.
Inter.co
Yeah,
instead of Inter and Co?
Inter.co, yeah. So,
Interesting. Is that because that's their website?
yeah.
Ah, okay.
So-
All right. Anyway, Saturday, September 26th, kickoffs at 4:30. I have no idea how tickets are for that or how much they are, but I'm sure there's some tickets for sale. They just kind of announced this, right?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Do you know about this Central Florida Newsrooms collaborative
Oh, yeah.
on the voter? Are you guys part of it?
I'm trying to think. I know we participated in some of the early planning, but they have the voter guide, right?
So it's a coalition of Central Florida news organizations have created a nonpartisan guide. I'm sure some people would argue that for the August 18th primary election. So it's like Central Florida Public Media, which is WMFE, if you don't know their new branding, WKMG, which is News 6, Orlando Sentinel, and other
Yep.
community-focused organizations. There's so many places to get information now, and I don't know the best place sometimes. So this
Yep.
I'm sure this is a good thing for people that don't follow, like especially local campaigns,
Sure.
super close.
Yeah, and for the collaborative, they have publications that focus on a lot of local communities. So think of places like Oviedo and Winter Garden, where maybe you don't get that, depth of coverage when it comes to things like, oh, they come in when something's happening or there's big news. But, the day-to-day, maybe there's not as many reporters on that. So to have, some of those community papers and other folks involved, that really kind of expands what's available to people who are coming to vote in the elections.
So I guess all the candidates got a standardized questionnaire, and whether they chose to answer it, that's up to
Oh, yeah.
them. But they all got the same one, and then they could answer it, and then they'll sort of report what those people said. I mean, that's super helpful, especially, like I said, it's just, there's so many people running for offices, and some of the offices are maybe a little more prominent than others, and so some of it gets lost in the shuffle.
And I think a lot of people have issues that are really important to them. So to have candidates sort of speak in depth about those issues really helps them inform and make what in their mind is the best decision.
So speaking of elections, probably the biggest one, at least where I live, is Orange County Mayor. I don't live in the city of Orlando, but I'm right next to it. But even if you do live in the city, you still get to vote for mayor, I believe.
Yeah,
Orange County Mayor.
So yeah,
It's
everybody.
confusing. Not everybody knows this.
So everybody who lives within Orange County votes for the Orange County Mayor,
Even if you live in the city of Maitland,
Yep.
city of Winter Park, city of
regardless.
yeah, not Castleberry. Castleberry is in Seminole County, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, if you live in the county, you do get to vote for Orange County Mayor. 4 people running.
Yep.
I'm going to list them. Chris Messina, Stephanie Murphy, Tiffany Moore Russell, and Maya Uribe. 3 Democrats, 1 Republican. The 1 Republican is Chris Messina, although it's a nonpartisan race.
Yep.
Which is, I always find that funny. Like,
Yeah.
you're still going to tell me who they are.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people, like the commission districts as well, it's the same thing, right? Where it's like, it's nonpartisan, but they do tend to have like, oh, the Democrats recommended them or the Republicans or whoever. So
And so the reason is they have to. Jerry Demings is term limited, so
Yep.
and plus he has cancer, and he was going to run for governor, but he dropped out of that race because of his cancer
yeah.
treatment.
And doing very well, by the way.
Yeah,
Which is good.
Yeah, very good. I like Mayor
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Demings. I've met him several times, and he's always a nice guy. Like I always enjoy talking with him.
Yeah.
But anyway, the 4 candidates for mayor. August 18th is the actual election day, but you can vote now if you can early vote now. And one of them has to get over 50%, or they go to a runoff. Correct?
Yeah. So basically, if the 4 somebody doesn't get above that 50%, it'll be the top 2 vote getters, I think, will go to the runoff, and then that will determine who is the mayor.
I don't know. Is there one right now that is sort of in the lead that you would say? Or?
I mean, I think both the trio of Moore Russell and Uribe
because
and Murphy.
because Orange County is a more democratic county.
They all have name recognition in different ways,
Yes.
right? Like obviously Uribe is currently on the commission, and Murphy has been elected to multiple other roles within Central Florida before.
And I mean, she was a U.S. Congresswoman.
Yep. So
But took a break.
Yeah, a lot of them have that name recognition.
Yeah,
So
and Tiffany Moore Russell was a clerk of court.
I think
or maybe is still. I
Yes.
don't know. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think she was part of the resign to run,
right.
where you have to step out of the role. But, I think we'll see somebody emerge from the runoff and kind of, we'll have our top 2.
I think, I think of these
I
four,
think it's a little too tight
two will
for-
last.
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who does, though.
Yeah.
So I've only met one of these people, actually. I probably only met Maya Uribe at events, and so I don't know if I've ever met the other 2.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens on
the
that.
Orlando Shine Candidate Forum.
Yeah, we could. We probably should do better at that. I'll let Brendan do that. Let's see what else we got here. What are my other options for stories? Mars Attacks. We're talking about Mars Attacks
Yeah, we
real
can.
quick. So Mars Attacks. Do you like that movie?
Yeah, it's not bad.
So
Not my favorite of all the alien invasion movies, but it's a very funny movie. Obviously, a lot of weird things. Like the Jack Black scene is very funny.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but it was supposed to play at the Enzian this week.
Yeah.
It got rained out, so they're going to play it on September 2nd. It's the 30th anniversary, which is crazy, which means I was in high school when it probably came out. And they're going to play it. It's for free. It's one of the ones on the lawn, but it rained out this week. So September 2nd, go check that out. I've been going to the Enzian a lot lately.
Yeah, it's and they just had the renovation too with the 70 millimeter screen.
Yeah, I saw the Odyssey on it.
Oh yeah,
It was fantastic.
How was that? Great.
It was so good, and it was so loud.
Yeah.
It was super loud.
Yeah.
Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic announces their 2026 menu. Do you get invited to the food and wine stuff?
I know we have a tourism reporter who does, but I do love the food, and it sounds like they have a pretty good lineup from what I read so far.
It's November 20th and 21st, 5 to 9 p.m. at the Swan and Dolphin, which is out at Walt Disney World. 170 beverage selections and tons of food. Let's see here. Bourbon Steak by Michael Mina, along with Blue Zoo, Il Mulino, Amare. I don't know all these restaurants, but I know I have been to the Food and Wine with Brendan.
Yeah.
It is so much food.
Yeah. Do you ever get like sort of analysis paralysis when you see all these different options?
What do you
and
mean?
Like you just go like you're walking by all these tables, right? And they have the food there, and you're like, "Nah, I should get this. I should get this." And you're trying to.
So let me tell you a secret, Ryan. Let me give you a little advice. When you go to events such as these, you never take the whole plate. You only take one bite and then you move on to the next thing. Because if you take a big old plate of everything, you will make it 3 stops and then you're done. Because Brendan's done more of this than me, but in my life as a reporter, I was asked to judge food festivals and stuff. And it sounds great. You're like, oh yeah, I get to try all this awesome food. But it is usually so much food that you just feel awful afterwards.
Yeah.
So you gotta pace yourself. And pacing yourself is like taking one bite of a chicken wing, like my wife just did, and being like, okay, this was good. I hate wasting food, but I cannot eat a whole chicken wing every single spot or I'll be dead.
Sure. And especially if it's like some spicy wing or something like that. Like that takes.
You just get full. And events like this, everything is quote unquote free. I mean, you got to pay for a ticket to get in, but once you're in, you can eat and drink as much as you want.
Oh, yeah.
So you really got to either eat tiny bites or pick and choose. Be like, okay, I don't need a slider. I can eat a slider any day of the week.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that thing that I'll never have somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. Like the Swan and Dolphin one's a lot of fun because it's Disney. They know what they're doing. The food is fantastic. So it's a It's a good time over there. And so it's November 20th and 21st. If I'm not mistaken, tickets to those are like $180, maybe $200.
Yeah.
It's like a special night out for you and your loved
Yeah,
one.
it's a good opportunity to try a lot of things you might not otherwise get to.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And then maybe you'll go back and try it again. Creole, speaking of ceramics, Creole Day Cup-a-thon. You ever been?
To Creole Day?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay, all right. We need to. So if you live between Winter Park and Castleberry, you're probably pretty close to Creole Day.
I've driven by it.
Okay.
That's the thing.
It's a great space.
Yeah, right off of Loma, right?
Yeah, it's for like it's an artist. You can learn how to do ceramics and I think metal stuff and all kinds of stuff. I mean, all kinds of arts. I could be wrong on the metal thing. Don't yell at me. But you can learn how to paint and all kinds of things. But they do this thing called their Cup-a-thon, where it's a pottery sale and social gathering. It's actually this weekend, so it's today, Friday. You missed it, but it's also tomorrow as well. Off of Loma, handmade ceramics, and you can get cups and you can buy them. So go to Creole and check that out. And they're doing something called Pottery Ping Pong, where it gives participants 3 attempts to win a ceramic piece, while the event proceeds go to improve Creole Day's ceramics and kilns. So Cup-a-thon this weekend at Creole Day. Should be a fun time. Did you ever go to Orlando Pirates games?
I have not, but I've seen, they have a really big social media presence, and it's been kind of cool to see, after the Orlando Predators ended up dissolving, to see a new indoor football team come in.
I didn't make it to a game either. I was supposed to make it to the other team, Orlando. What's the other football?
The Predators?
No, the other one. The one that plays
the Storm.
Yes, I was supposed to go
the
to one of those.
outdoor team, yeah.
I missed that one as well.
Yeah.
But the Pirates play indoor at the Kia Center.
Yeah.
I guess they ended in the playoffs, but they didn't win. They lost their last playoff game 73-59. But that's what.
Oh yeah.
Indoor,
well, the indoor game, the field is shorter, so it's higher scoring game. They have like the nets where if you kick the ball off, like on the kickoff, it comes back. So it's just a weird version of the sport, but a fun version.
I never went to the Predators games. Did you go to those?
I did not.
Maybe I went to one.
Yeah, no, but they had a huge following. So
absolutely,
it's been funny, and seeing like they had the rivalry with the Tampa team. So it's been kind of funny to see indoor football, kind of catch its footing here in Orlando, and now that there's a new team, people will have an opportunity to see them when the new season starts up.
Which I don't even know when that is. I'm sure it's sometime next year.
Yep.
Speaking of season starting up, Solar Bears we're getting there. We're only a few more months away from Solar Bear season, which
John,
I'm excited
I know you
for.
really want your hockey.
I do, I do. Well, just call Mo where I work. We're a sponsor of the Orlando Solar Bears, and Solar Bears games are so much fun. So I can't wait for those to kick off again. Usually October is when Solar Bears games start. So another thing we got, this is super nerdy, but I'll mention it. Water science grants are available to Central Florida teachers.
I mean, that's important, right? Like, as much as it's nerdy, it's important.
So the St. Johns River Water Management District is offering as much as $60,000 through its Blue School Grant Program for the next school year. Teachers can receive up to $3,000 for hands-on water science and STEAM projects.
Yeah.
So you can eligible projects include water quality testing, aquaponics, and I gotta see where do you apply? Go to OrlandoShine.com. You can figure out where to get your grant stuff in. What are you working on, Ryan?
Just in terms of stories?
Yeah.
I know Orlando, we just had a story this morning about Orlando looking to build a new parking garage over near Inter.co Stadium. There's a current surface lot over there where they have, I think it's around 600 spaces, and basically this would allow them to build a few hundred more spaces and have some sort of mixed-use development there, like an apartment. The garage would likely come first. They're looking at an RFP for that, like a design-build firm. And
so wait, is this on the plot of land that was where that church was?
No, so funny you asked that. It's kind of to the north. I think there's like a mosque to the left of it, or
Oh,
like a
okay,
religious
yeah.
center.
Yeah.
And then it's like Park Grove Drive is the street that it's on. So
Interesting.
The south side of that street is where the garage is going to be, and it's kind of a unique spot. The city's been buying some land over there, and their goal was to have some sort of development over there. So this is the opportunity to have a garage and maybe some more housing and retail in the future.
All right. Well, excellent. Well, you can read all about that on the OrlandoBusinessJournal.com. Thank you, Ryan. We're actually all done here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan, for being on. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks to 1010 Brewing for having us. Come on out next Wednesday for the Florida Clady's inaugural pottery pop-up, 6 to 9 here at 1010 Brewing. I'll be here. My wife, Leanne, will be here, as well as at least 11 other pottery and ceramic artists. Should be a good time. And I'm going to eat some food here at 1010. Thanks again, Ryan.
Pleasure to be here.
We'll see you guys next week. Brendan's also out next week, but I'll have another special co-host. So we'll see you then. See you later.